Good evening and welcome everyone to our webinar on the role of music and artists in raising awareness on water and climate change. We have a very exciting evening planned ahead for you and a panel of very esteemed speakers. This event is organized by the Living Waters Museum, which is a virtual platform founded by Dr. Sara Ahmedin and currently based special initiative at the Center of Heritage Management, Ahmedabad University. It engages young people to celebrate water wisdom through the power of storytelling, digital technology, and new media. Visual narratives on water and its intersection with natural and built environments or livelihoods and the creative arts is where its inquiry lies. Living Waters Museum is also a founder member of the global network of water museums endorsed by UNESCO's Intergovernmental Hydrology Program in June 2018 as a special initiative to address SDG 6 through public education and outreach events. Since 2018, LWM has been working in the urban water heritage and doing collaborative exhibitions with physical museums and virtual museums. Engaging in critical conversations with diverse stakeholders across Ahmedabad and also now expanding to various cities in the rest of India. I would like to hand over to Sukrit, who has been coordinating the Paani ki Kahaani call, and he will be moderating the evening.
Thank you so much, Ipshita, for that introduction. Hello, am I audible? Yes,
yes.
I guess. So I take this opportunity to announce that Paani ki Kahaani has been a fantastic event. It was one of the first of the initiatives that Living Waters Museum took in order to start a conversation around water in the form of performing arts. I'm very happy to inform that we had about 60 entries which came in from around the globe, where participants discussed about different aspects of issues around water through music, dance, poetry, films, acting, etc. Now, as an end to Paani ki Kahaani for the 2020 edition, one of the good things that have happened this year, I feel that a conversation with musicians and people who have been a very integral part of the social affairs around water was very, very important. And hence this webinar was organized with the best possible. I would like to start off by saying that musicians, ever since the advent of music, have played a very vital role in building a socio-cultural environment around human beings across the globe, be it in times of celebration or in challenging times such as the current pandemic. Climate change today is a matter of great concern, and musicians have been a rather less talked about stakeholder in the same. With one side talking about that the music industry is all about traveling, production of plastic in the form of CDs and CD cases and merchandises and contributing much to the carbon footprint, while the other saying that musicians have played a very, very vital role in reaching out to a grassroots level and being the driving force behind involving communities and starting conversations on such aspects, which the different governing bodies fail to adhere to. Today, on behalf of the Living Waters Museum, I feel very, very honored and privileged to have among us two of the pioneers of Indian fusion music in Southeast Asia, who need absolutely no introduction, but I shall still do so because their efforts are absolutely worth celebrating. I would first like to invite Mr. Rahul Ram, who has joined us all the way from Manali. He is an Indian bass guitarist, a social activist, and a music composer. He's the founder member of the band Indian Ocean. And however, apart from being an artist, he's also a scientist with his background in chemistry and a PhD in environmental toxicology from Cornell University. I would now like to give the platform to you to share your version of how you have contributed in music, in climate change over the years. The platform is all yours, Mr. Rahul. Thank you.
Thank you, Sukrit. I'll begin by saying that I first heard the term about what is today called global climate change back then in 1988, so for 32 years, people have been talking about this. And at that time, I was at Cornell, and there was a seminar, which in a sense said that the increase in the global average mean temperature is going to result, amongst other things, in more extreme events. Okay, more extreme events means more rain, more drought, higher temperatures than normal, lower temperatures than normal. Now, 32 years down the line, they're still saying the same thing. And now we've started seeing it in front of us, right? I'll do a little bit of science, if you don't mind, to the viewers.
Not a problem, yes.
You know, when something has very high natural variability, such as weather, it requires something very much more than the natural variability to show up in a statistical model, okay? This is possibly one of the main reasons why even today climate change scientists have not been able to convince anybody. And that there is a very strong lobby which says that it's all a hoax. We know certain world leaders who are fallen prey to this, either this hoax or whatever. They want to disregard the information in front of them. And because of such great people doing this, or well-known people doing this, a lot of the public at large also is skeptical. The second scientific thing is, it is impossible to make precise projections because these models have literally thousands of variables, okay? And so each variable has uncertainty in it, so the end results go all over the place. So again, people are saying, look, they were saying it's going to go bad and it's not got bad as yet, etc., etc., etc. But I would say that 95% of scientists in the world, at least, are convinced about the reality of global climate change. And it's time we all woke up to this reality, okay? Step two, next step, is that this, I'll give you an analogy. If I say, for example, that the modern development paradigm is unsustainable, okay? How do I make a song about it? It's such a large problem that one person cannot grasp the entirety of it, and you cannot put the entirety of it into one song. Just as you cannot put the entirety of global climate change, into one song, okay? I shook the table too hard. I'm sorry. All right?
Absolutely.
So this is a problem that has beset all artists trying to do music around this, right? For example, there is a man called Ricky Cage who won the Grammy from India, I think maybe 5 years back. And he has been trying to make songs about climate change, but because he is who he is and he's a Grammy Award winner, you know, he got snapped up by the UN and by the government. And so these songs have a somewhat, what I would call a sarkari line to them, right? Whereas I think what we need is much more of a Bob Dylan type adversarial approach to the powers that be, that deny this, or at least don't want to do what is required to be done because of possible economic problems arising from trying to do something concrete. You see, I don't think they see that if you don't do anything now, any economic losses you may face now will be nothing compared to what is going to happen 30 years down the road. So for short term, now that's the problem with politicians. They look at the short term rather than the long term. And that's the problem with a lot of us human beings. We look at the short term rather than the long term, okay? We look in the long term in terms of buying LIC and PPF and all, so on and so forth. But we do not look at the long term in terms of consumption of plastic or, you know, consumption of energy or consumption in general, all right? So a musician or an artist of any sort who sets out to do something about it has a very, very tough task ahead of them. I've seen this beautiful sculpture, I don't know how many of you have seen, in a city in Europe, I think it was put up, of a woman and a child, ice sculpture holding hands. And, you know, gradually as the day comes, the heat melts them and so there's nobody left. and the hands stop holding each other and gradually everything. Now that's amazing, beautiful, stark. But how many people get the message? I don't know. So let's, and Sukrit, you will have to stop me when I run out of my 10 minutes because I can talk the hind legs of a dog.
I will do that. Don't worry. Yes.
So I'm just saying that we have, if we want to sing about climate change, it's a very big challenge. Singing about water, which is a smaller aspect or a tinier, smaller bit of that entire argument, is somewhat easier. And a lot of people have done it in their different ways. But whether the audience gets the message or not is a question that we are unable to solve or even get a handle on. I'm sure Rahul Ananda will agree with me that we put songs out into the world, but what effect it has, I don't know. Because I'll give you a very bad example. Like we have sung a song by a man called Gorakh Pandey called Hille Le Jhajjor Duniya, which is about sweeping away the old and bringing in the new. Janta ki chale paltaniya hille le jhajjor. So it's actually a revolutionary song, but I have seen it played in discos. People are dancing to this song, So what do I as song and given a version? Okay, guys, I have faded. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we got you back.
Can you hear me?
We lost you for a while, but yes, we got you back.
Yes, because just as predicted, there was a phone call.
Not a problem. You are a busy man.
Man, no, it's not busy, man. I can't inform everybody that by each time they make a phone mat kar.
That's not a
This is what I
problem.
would actually like to do. So anyway, to get back, sorry for the interruption. I have my questions about how we can do this and how well we can do this. I also have a thing to say that, if we look at, for example, how the Bowls put forth an issue, they managed to put very large issues into a simple song. And this is something I've seen in a lot of village-based musicians as well and poets, that, the words are simple, but the concepts are large. I think we have to try and get some of that power within us. Because I'm a town-based or a shahri person. And we tend to dot the I's and cross the T's. They don't. They make direct links and in simple language, and that can be understood. So any way forward with such music has to involve thinking about how, and it is a very, very, very difficult thing to do. I know that water is, people are already talking about water wars. In the subcontinent, we know how badly off we are. India, definitely Pakistan, even more than India, as sucking up its groundwater over the years. Bangladesh has had different issues with too much water, sometimes with arsenic in the groundwater, sometimes. Lots of things have happened. But Bangladesh faces the ulta, that is the rise in sea levels because of climate change is going to cause a different kind of havoc in Bangladesh, because a lot of it is not very much above sea level. So everywhere the problems are different. The cause, however, is the same. So we have to try and address, possibly as individual musicians, small parts of the problem and try and put it together into a larger one, maybe as a thematic album. Unfortunately, nobody buys albums anymore. As Rahul will know, nobody buys albums. Everybody downloads something and doesn't pay you for it. And they expect you to keep making new music, which they consume for free. And then they say, why aren't you bringing out new music? And I'm like, why should I? So, but this is, since we are passionately interested, I call myself an environmentalist. I think it's incumbent on us, and more so incumbent on the younger generation, because, I'll be dead 30 years down the road when everything is falling apart. I won't be around. it's the time for younger people to think and come up with, for example, anyway, I'll talk about this later on in the question, so on and so forth. I think I'm running out of my 10 minutes, so I'll stop here. And just having placed that this is a tough one, this is the one we have to apply our minds to, but it is a reality which cannot be wished away. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think you raised some very important points about how it's impossible to make precise assumptions and putting up the scope of musicians, to be very, very large. And it's very important for the younger generation to actually identify that scope and look into it. But without wasting, not wasting, but without putting more time into this, I would like to invite our second speaker for the day, the very, very jolly Rahul Ananda, who has joined us from Bangladesh, with Ananda literally being a part of his name. And as we can see, like his beautiful smile that just lights up my day. He has been the ambassador of performing arts in Bangladesh, wearing the hat of a musician, singer, artist, and an actor. He is also the lead vocalist and a multi-instrumentalist in his band Joler Gaan, which translates to be the song of water. His education lies in fine arts and graphic design from Dhaka University, and he has amazing skills, and he has had the opportunity to portray his skills all around the globe. And I'm very happy to have Rahulda as a part of our panelists, especially because of the influence of environment that he brings in all his songs. Over to you, Rahulda.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity given to me. Hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can.
I'm feeling privileged to talk in front of Rahul Da, another Rahul, the huge Rahul Ram from Indian Ocean, because from since our childhood almost, I can say we are a fan of Indian Ocean. And the name of our band is Joler Gaan. You already mentioned it, that Joler Gaan means song of water. Maybe for that reason, name is a big issue for everybody, for you and me, for everybody. Like we are in every individual can connect each other through their name, and the names are important. When I heard that your name is Sukrit, and Dada's name is Rahul Ram, I can understood a little bit about you, who you are, and I can have an assumption that from where you are, or maybe sometimes we can recognize people with their name or with their working ability and everything. So name is very much important. So Joler Gaan, song of water. So since that we have to work, it's actually shows our identity. So we worked for our not only climate change issue or other thing. We are working for every or each individual thing in our surroundings. So, but we mostly we pointed out our songs and our kind of critique through our eyes, through what we have perceived from our kind of I can say which we perceived from our surroundings and environment and everything. And the big issue in front of us since almost 20 years or back, we are hearing this kind of word like climate change issue, warming and global warming, everything. And we have seen so many seminars and so many things happening here and there around the globe. But nobody actually concerned, I think, about the issue. So we are doing the seminars, we are addressing some points, and then we forget all the thing, and we are doing the same thing again. We are wasting our energy, we are wasting our water, we are wasting everything. So the same thing happening. So what Rahul Dada addressed that last 32 years, he's addressing this thing in front of us. The Baul people actually addressing this thing maybe 300 or 400 years ago. They are addressing the same thing. They are talking through their music, through their lines. They are addressing through their lines that our body is developed and depends on 5 elements. These are the earth, water, fire, air, and the ether actually. So, and it has to be composed, and it has to be balanced. If there is some imbalance in water or earth, we feel sick. If there is some imbalance in water and fire, we feel sick. In the same way, we need to take care about our body. Only a single body, we need to take care about how to balance all these things at a time.
Right.
Now, if we think about our world as a body, like a human body, if our world, even the whole universe is made of that. Like Lalon Shaiji wrote one song, Ja ache ei bhande, ta ache ei brahmande. Means what we have in this universe, the same thing, the same ingredients we have in our human body as well. So for that universe, or for our world, we need to balance all those things at a time. Other than if we cannot take care about all those things at a time, we need to suffer. Nowadays we are suffering in this pandemic. So people are pointing out a virus only. So this is not an issue of virus. This is the issue actually what we have done to our Mother Earth last 100 years or last 200 years or 50 years. What we have done, our forefathers done towards our nature. So the nature actually now punishing us, like when a kid, a little kid is disturbing all the time his mother, or like mama, I want this, I want that, I want to do that, I want this. So the mom sometimes put him in a separate room or something like that, and told him, okay, sit here, do some exercise or something like that. So kind of that. So we are now facing this problem. The whole world is facing the pandemic for the COVID-19 virus. So that this is not a single virus. I can say now we are going to face more like this, more deadly or dangerous viruses or other things or other diseases in future, because still we are doing the same thing what we have done before.
Right.
So
right.
Exactly the same thing we are doing, and exactly the same cruel thing, same bloody thing, and still we are doing some sort of thing which is actually against nature.
Right.
Like in I can address about our in our country. Our country now, we are facing so many things that what Rahul already addressed, that sometimes we have too much water flooded all over the country. So all the crops and everything has gone. The next season we are totally dried out. So it's sometimes it's man-made as well,
Right.
not only natural. Okay, and another thing is the rising the sea level. It's a huge challenge for our country because our land is so low. We are fertile. Our land is very fertile. Whenever you put a seed anywhere in this country, you will get a beautiful tree with flowers and crops and fruits and other things. But we are now in a challenge. We are a rich country with water or landscape of water or other thing. In the same way, the water is a huge challenge towards us in future.
Right. Rahul,
So now I'm going to stop. I think
I will want to. I think you did point out again very important sections of how like the excess of water in Bangladesh, which was once your a matter of prosperity,
Yes.
is now becoming the reason for the country to suffer. So on this note, coming to your musical journey.
Yes.
You have mentioned to all the participants who are here, Rahul Ananda has submitted a fantastic video for Paani Ki Kahaani as one of our ambassadors, explaining the different ways by which water has influenced his life as a musician and his music. So on that context, I would want to ask you that environment has been a big influence to your music ever since you started making music. But now that the environment itself is changing, how is it affecting your music? I can give you an example. For example, if we look at the Bhatiyali, for example, you all mentioned the bowls.
I'm coming that point, Sukrit.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
coming that point. Like, so we are doing the same sort of thing, and we are damaging all those things. Our country, we have now. I'm making it short. Our country has 1,300 rivers across our whole country. 1,300. It's huge.
Right.
And our country is a land of like Bhatiyali song, and other one I can mention today, the racing boat racing song. We have festivals like that about boat racing thing, and we have so many songs, energetic songs about this boat racing. So if nowadays, if I develop a boat racing song, who will gonna sing it, or how we can put it on the table without the boat race, without the river, because in the context of development, every river has like a bridge after 2 miles or 2 kilometers. So many bridges are throughout the route of a boat race. So so there is no boat race nowadays. The rivers are day by day dried out, or not in the good shape. So who is gonna sing my boat race song or other thing like Bhatiyali song? For the Bhatiyali song, it's totally developed on the rhythm of the boita.
Right.
Okay, like da ra 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 ni jupush da jupush sa da ra 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 da ra ra da jum da da ka ting ting chaka chaka. So it's developed on the rhythm of the boita. Right. So nowadays all of our boat are developed in shallow engines. So there is no boita at all. So who will develop the Bhatiyali song nowadays? and who will gonna sing the Bhatiyali song. So like Rahul Ramda or Rahul Ananda will sing the Bhatiyali song in front of the people of the urban people on stage, on a concrete stage with so many lights and other things. So and another thing I like to address, we have we already have seen one form of song called Ghatu Gaan. It's already died,
Right.
because the Ghatu Gaan developed on ghat. You know what is ghat?
Yes.
So some people, they are traveling from this ghat to that ghat, and the boat is itself a stage, and the ghat becomes a like steps of the auditorium, and the audience in the ghat from these the people of the villagers,
Right.
they are sitting here, and those people actually singing the song, they're standing on the boat and they're singing the song. Most of the songs actually based on we have a beautiful song. Everybody knows that Satinder Burman actually composed the song about we call it Nair. I don't know, you people are connected with the word Nair or not. In the Nair, I'm talking it in a little bit in Bangla, like বছরে একবার মেয়ে তার বাবার বাড়িতে নায়র যায়. Okay, so the daughter actually, she's waiting all the time. She's looking towards the path of river. Is someone's coming to take me to Nayor,
right,
or home? So Sachin Burman developed a song based on a Ghatu song. So Sachin Kotta's song is like I'll sing a little bit from the Ghatu Gaan, actually, the real one, like Tumra ketha jao re lal boitha baya নীল বৈঠা বাইয়া আমার ভাইজান রে কইও নায়র নিত আয়া আমার ভাইজান রে কইও নায়র নিত আয়া ওরে পূবের দেশে জন্ম আমার উত্তরেতে বাড়ি দক্ষিণা বাতাসে উড়ে রাঙা বরণ শাড়ি তোমরা কেঠা যাও রে. So Sachin Kotta song, which is written by Mira, his wife Mira. So the song is almost the appeal of that song is the same, actually.
Right.
So the tradition has, nowadays we haven't that tradition of like our connectivity is not through the boat or through the river. So our connectivity changed, our tradition changed. So it's a crucial time for us. Right. We are talking on stage about this climate change issue and other this water. We have to take care about our water or our rivers. We are singing songs. So what Rahulda told before, nobody cares about that. There is a sculpture he told that nobody got the concept of the sculpture. Everybody is seeing the sculpture, wow, beautiful sculpture, taking selfies or photos, posting it to or in a social platform. That's all. So people, we are sending some message towards people. Take care yourself, take care about yourself, take care about your world, your river or your nature. So people are getting maybe the wrong message. Maybe we are not able to give the proper message to the people, proper message to our leaders, proper message to towards the world. So
thank you.
We need to think about again. Thank you very much.
Right, Rahul. I think again a lot of works have been done on the musical front to address this aspect of climate change. And recently, I would now go to Rahul Ramji. It's a bit of a.
I want to add one line.
Yes.
There is so many works around the world I have seen which is addressing the climate change or the taking care about nature or that kind of thing. Addressing towards the world. Maybe the address is wrong, and the letters we are sending it's in a wrong place. It's not actually received by the
right people. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
In fact, I was just going to point out how Rahul Ramji sends a big absolute thumbs up on this. Recently, I was listening to this band called 1975, and they actually cited few of the lines from Greta Thunberg's speech that she's been doing on climate change. And I would like to bring in Rahul Ramji here, how he has been very actively actively participated in the Narmada Bachao Andolon. And Marwa being one of those songs which literally became a hymn, and it is also one of those songs that also, has also been one of the signature songs of Indian Ocean, where they have portrayed that we need to save our rivers today for different aspects. So I would like to know from you, Rahul, that what do you think is the position of Indian music portraying climate change in their songs today in the Indian context? What do you feel about that?
Okay, first, Mareva is not a song composed by Indian Ocean. Mareva is an existing hymn.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is sung along the banks of the river
Narmada.
In a part of Madhya Pradesh called Nimad. So the language is Nimadi. It's a dialect of Hindi. I had heard the song during my days as an activist, and I thought it's a beautiful song.
Right.
And so it's interesting because this song actually does not say save the river. Okay? It just
the river.
Ma reva tharo pani nirmal khal khal behto jaye. May you flow, and you begin in Amarkantak and you give life to everybody along your banks, and by service to you I get my food or my meva. Seva se pave meva. Aso Ved Puran batayo re. So this has been said by the Veds and Purans. Okay? All we did was we just rearranged the song. Okay? So but a lot of people think it's not an Indian Ocean song. The other thing is that it became a political song because of the context. Some songs go beyond their context. That is why a song can travel anywhere.
Right.
I'll give you an analogy. You've heard the famous song Gonga Tumi Gonga Boichuken, right? So Bhupenda, of course, first sang it in Ahomia. But the original song is an English song. And Bhupenda heard the song because Paul Robson used to sing it. Now, the irony is that this song was not written by Paul Robson. It was written by two white men composing music for a Broadway play. So the words have also been written by them, putting themselves into the mind of a black man at that time. So imagine where it began as something and see where it has come. It has gone from Paul Robson, who was a civil rights activist, greatly admired by Bhupenda. Bhupenda then took the tune and made it into an Ahomia song, then translated into Bengali, then translated into Hindi. And so a song has the power. See, that's why we musicians live to sing, because we can see sometimes the power of our songs, while saying that, yes, people don't get the context sometimes. But sometimes a song can say and do in 2 minutes what hours of speaking or, reams of paper can do. And that is why we believe in what we are doing. I think Rahul Ananda, you will agree that this is why we do what we are doing, because we know the power. At the same time, I don't think songs make revolutions. I think songs are an essential part of every movement because it links everybody in the movement together. Everybody will sing the same song. I am sure during the independence struggle in Bangladesh, there were songs that was sung by everybody. So this kind of thing is the power of music, that also that 20 years later, what you will remember is the song. That's the first thing that will come to your mind, that it's the glue that holds people together. And so songs have that power. And so songs must try and become contributory towards a movement. Now in India, there are, countless songs about the jungle, kitna sundar hai. I mean, I had gone to Tehri Garhwal when I was 17 to spend some time with Sundarlal Bahuganaji, who was part of the Chipko Andolan.
Right.
And I heard songs that I remember to this day. I went there in 1979 or 80 or something. So I still remember those songs 40 years later. And those songs were also not about environment. One song would say, yes, na kata jungle hamara. Okay. Now, so people have been singing about this, as Rahul Ananda said, that Bauls have been singing about this for years. But they have more been singing at a spiritual level. Make me clean. And, everybody should understand how to be clean. Ei Moner Kali, Bhisham Kali type songs, I'm saying that the shift has to come. I once heard a concert by a woman called Holly Near, a very, very, really well-known political singer-songwriter in the US. And she said, there is nothing more boring than a boring political song. Okay? And it's true. You see, we have a double burden. The song must say complex things, but say it in an attractive way.
Right.
And in an interesting way. It must say it in a way that even people who are not otherwise inclined will turn around and say, "Arey, maja aa gaya, kya baat hai?" I down below that musicians find it difficult to convince people because the entertainment value overrides the content. So they're happy watching you play, and at that moment they're dancing with you, and then the minute it's over, it's gone. But I don't think so. I think people carry the lyrics somewhere in their head, and if there's enough of us doing this enough times in enough places, that's how the message will gradually come home. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. That's true. We don't have the luxury of 50 years or even, So there are so many songs, but you look at this. Are Ganga tera paani amrit. गंगा तेरा पानी अमृत 40 साल 50 साल पुराना गाना है, हर दिन हरिद्वार के घाट पे बजता है. Every day it is played on the ghat of Haridwar during Shondi Pujo. Look at the Ganga.
True.
The same people who are going there in crores to Kumbh Mela and so on and so forth are the same people who are destroying the river. It's us.
Right.
You can't point a finger. It's us. It is all of us. We sing also, and then we do everything opposite. Exactly what Ananda was saying. Can I call you Ananda? I love to call you Ananda.
Whatever you want to call me, just call me. If you want to give me a new name, I love to get it.
Ananda is an Ananda.
Yes. Whatever you want to call me, call you.
So just because to get over the confusion of Rahul and Rahul. Then I will also call you Ananda. So you can sing about this and you can sing about that, and there have been lots of songs made by sincere people about environmental issues. As Narmada Andolan, there were enough songs, right? Andolan had songs. There is a very interesting song which I don't know if you heard, made by a man called Machi in Odisha. हम गाँव छोड़ब नहीं, हम जंगल छोड़ब नहीं, माहे माटी छोड़ब नहीं, लड़ाई छोड़ब नहीं. अब ठीक है, अब तुम ये देखो, ये गाँव का गाना है. जबकि Swaratma, who is an urban band, has made a song about Paani called Mujhe Behne Do or something, Pyasi Hu Main is the song. Now it is also, the aim is the same, that, this is the land singing or the river singing that I am thirsty now. You have taken away my water. And in the video, they have a little girl who goes to fill water from the tap and so on. And Shubha Mudgal has sung this along with them. But those are materially different songs. The lyrics are more, quote unquote, sophisticated. It carries weight of a different sort, but it's not as immediate, hard-hitting as Hum Gaon Chodab Nahi, Hum Jangal Chodab Nahi. But you see, Swaratma cannot write Hum Gaon Chodab Nahi, Hum Jangal Chodab Nahi because they are not in Gaon or Jangal.
Right.
So our situation where we situate ourselves also means that how can I sing for somebody else? There is a matter of agency.
Right.
Ami Adivasi knowing.
True.
I cannot sing for an Adivasi. I can an Adivasi because they have written it.
Right.
Which is what Indian Ocean has done sometimes. But we cannot use their voice. We need also an urban. How many poor people in urban India make songs? Look at the life. I think about a rickshaw puller in Delhi. Yeah, danda lagta hai, garmi mein cycling, and these rich people will fight with him over 5 rupees. I'm sure there is a rage inside him. I'm sure because if I was him, I would have rage inside me. But when you go to the slums where they live and you hear the music, they sing songs from their village because of nostalgia and the feeling of togetherness,
Right.
So it's more a balm to the soul than a song than how rap music came about, for example, let's say, in New York, where it was the underprivileged guys who made the music. In fact, a lot of America's great music has come through oppression, like all jazz, all blues, all of this has come about songs of oppression. Now, maybe our oppressed people are not allowed to sing.
True.
This is a very strong possibility that if you sing and it gets out of hand, they can deal with you very easily. Right? I'm sorry, Ananda, you don't, but in India, we are facing this now as any form of dissent is being looked upon with not very sympathetic eyes. Right? I'm sure you guys have been through this before. Bangladesh has
it's happening all over the world, the same thing.
True.
Yeah.
I think with this conversation, two important factors came in that are we really approaching the right people or the desired audience in the right way? And the second is that we are somewhere, the people that we are reaching out to, they are losing out on the content because of the entertainment factor that these songs bring to them. Now, what I question myself in all these times is that if we look at the governing from a policy level, these singers, these vocalists have had a very important role to play from the very beginning. Even I was reading a paper on this cyclone that hit the Hawaiis, and the tribals were not informed that a cyclone is coming because they don't have access to the radio or something like that. But they had learned songs from their childhood which told them what to do if cyclones would come, and that is how they saved themselves. Now, this really puts me into concern that why musicians have not been looked at on a policy level as a stakeholder. Now, I want to ask this question to you both, actually, as a musician and as a major stakeholder in the music field today. That do you feel the need to bridge this gap, the formal and the informal gap that we always face? That people say that तुम musician है, तुम क्या बोलेगा? मतलब तुम program करो end में. This is what I have faced as a musician myself. That I don't think you have the right to speak. Let the babus and people in the government talk about it. You do the music and do the entertainment. But I also feel that musicians also have enough to say and have enough role to play. But as musicians, do you feel that we need to bridge this gap at all? Like, maybe we should, or maybe we shouldn't. Like, I want to ask this question to both of you. I think, I let Rahul da can talk, and then Ananda da can take it from there. It's just so much more easier for me because even I have been confused, how to bring in these two people together. Like, it's just and Anand is such a beautiful name. It's just the most beautiful name possible.
Okay, so I'll tell you, most musicians are very scared of becoming sarkari. Okay, because the government will allow you to say so much and no more. Whereas what we want to do is rattle the cages. We're saying, you're not doing enough. Wake up. Hello. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I'm a sarkari, I will be asked to sing songs in praise of groundwater renewal mission or things like that. Understand?
True, absolutely.
So there is that fear, and I think most of us who are genuinely into this will want to keep some distance from officialdom. Okay. As to we are reaching the wrong audience, I think what Ananda said is better. We're probably writing in a language that they can't hear. Or we are writing to an address which is not theirs. So whether that is our fault or their fault, it's probably both. You cannot say, "Arey, main to bana raha hu." They are not paying attention. No, but why are they not paying attention? Maybe the fault lies in you, that you're not able to grab the attention enough. See, even mainstream Bollywood films have been made about dams and displacement and destructive effects, etc. But it's a drop in. It's like people would rather go and watch Govinda No Brainer than watch a serious movie, because that is the nature of entertainment.
Right.
And somebody here put up a statement which I agree with, that the structure of the music itself broke the norms. I think somebody put up a line here which I read, which sounded, and I actually feel, I have been noticing that a lot of young people in India are jumping straight to rap and not going through the other, there's no progression. You grow up and in your teens, you're rapping, right? I will give you the example of the guy on whom the film Gully Boy was made, for example. I may not agree with his lyrics. I'm just saying that they're going to rap. Okay.
Right.
Because the lyrics are really I want to be Salman Khan is essentially what the lyrics are. It's not questioning why he was there and why the things that put him into the slum in the first place, or the desire to change everybody's life. It's about, I will do good for myself. Okay?
Right.
And handle the rest. But rap is something that appeals to young people across, because you can rap in any language. In fact, one of my beliefs is that those shlokas are read. They are the earliest rap.
Absolutely.
Think of it.
Absolutely.
The million words packed in rhythm into a short space and sung to a certain tune. Right? How is that different from rap? Also has the advantage of saying a lot. See, a song, because of the musical structure, has to have fewer lyrics. If I pack a song with lyrics, it becomes not that interesting. Okay. Whereas rap by its very nature is full of a lot of words, and young people have a lot to say. And I think possibly I should start hanging out with some young people who are rapping and start doing stuff together, so that we can bring in this and bring in that, and we can maybe talk about things, and that's another way we can go. or if not rap, something else will come. You see, just because India is huge. This does not mean that in Odisha rap will work. Maybe something else will work in Odisha. Something else will work in Madhya Pradesh. Something else will work in this part of Maharashtra and in that part of Maharashtra. We have to search, and we have to encourage people to make songs about these things. And I think the guys, what you guys are doing, the Living Museum, is a great way of doing that. But you need to send it out to a larger number of people, which brings its own how. The question is how. And maybe that's where being Sarkari might contribute in that. The less controversial parts can be played on a DD or a AIR or something,
Right.
And without, the trouble is most Sarkari songs are boring as hell. I'm sorry. And the presentation is boring because there is no budget.
Well, that's absolutely true, and we have some very, very interesting questions coming up as well, and we'd like to keep the thing as concise as possible. Ananda, if you would say a few words about this factor, this linkage, whether we should bridge this gap or not.
Okay, when the word come up like bridge, so now we can see here is a bridge between Ananda and Rahul. No, that is the bridge. This is the bridge actually. We are bridging each other, and we are now talking to each other in a language which both of us can understand or express our thoughts. So the thing is what Rahul Dada addressed before. The same thing I also got the same essence. In the slum area, people are singing their own songs. Okay, so yes, it is happening here also. I have seen so many people, they are singing their roots song, I can say. When they are alone, or when they are feeling calm inside, they want to go back to their space or their from where they are. Okay, but in the same time, in that slum area, I found that people are putting some song in a CD player or a amplifier. The very jiki kind of Bollywood dancing song like Ganda Ful. Okay, it's flooded in the slum area as well. So the thing is, what I addressed before, we are writing the message, we are writing the letters, and we are maybe we are posting it towards wrong address or wrong people, or I am sending a Bangla written letters to a English person who cannot get anything, and we are not actually. I'm not talking about the real literary the language, because music has its own language. For that reason, Paul Robson's tune can come to Assam or in Bangla, or even in now it's I have heard the Hindi version and other version as well. But the thing is, the main thing is river in everywhere. We are getting the same thing, the river everywhere. So the thing is, we are developing the music, we are developing the song, we are developing the artwork or other thing. So painting or theater or other activities we are doing. So from where we are spreading those things, to whom? We need the proper address, and we need that liberty to do the real thing. We need that liberty to tell you the message through our song, like Gaan. In Bangla, it's Gaan. So not in slogan. We are not doing the slogan. Okay, dite hobe, diye dao, jalo, jalo, agun jalo. This is not our intention to do. We can address a point, the real people, the real stakeholder, or other people, or the people who are actually daitto prapto ingreji ki hobe?
Responsible.
Responsible person will take the responsibility from there. This Anando or Rahul, or I'm seeing here Debashish is with us. He is from Bangladesh. Yeah, another musician. Hello, Debashish.
Hello, Dada.
Okay, or Sukrit. We are not actually, we cannot take care about Ganga. We can talk a little bit about Ganga. We can talk about the beauty of Ganga. We can talk about, we need to take care about the water of what you call Ganga, we call Padda. Okay, the same river. We are calling them in two names, like one is Ananda, one is Rahul, kind of thing. Right. So the responsible persons, they should come, they should take the initiative, they should take care about the other thing. We are here, the artist people are here to work a lot for that. We are knocking door to door to save ourselves, to save the world, to save the nature. But this is our responsibility to make the badge the alarm. Okay, so if we are ring the alarm and nobody will take care about the alarm, or nobody will take care about, so how can we develop the bridge together? The bridge should be, should be two part, either A to B or B to A, or one to two. So here is only one part is active and other part is inactive.
True.
You not make the bridge.
True.
Okay.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Ananda. I think one very interesting question has come up from one of our participants who had participated in the Paani Ki Kahaani open call. His name is Shayantan Sinha, and he's a member of the band Poridhi from Calcutta, who was a part of the Paani Ki Kahaani open call. Can we have Shayantan on screen, please? Because I would like you to ask this question yourself. Shayantan, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Rahul.
Hello, Shayantan. কেমন আছিস?
খুব ভালো আছি, খুব ভালো আছি।
There is a confusion here. You cannot call one person.
Right.
Shayantan, today I have not new name, the old name in a new formation. So now today I am Ananda. Okay.
Right.
So I think Shayantan, you can ask your question. I think it's a very valid question at this point.
Actually, we've been doing music since last 7 or 8 years, and this is our bread and butter. So at times, being a part of this independent scene, we found out that when you go perform somewhere and you have to figure out that you have to keep that entertainment factor, or that but you how I just want to ask you that how can you balance that entertainment factor and that what should I say?
So I think what he wants to portray is that when we go out to perform, we also have to keep in mind that we need to entertain people. But at the same time, as musicians, we also want to create awareness for which the audience is probably a little different from the audience that we try to entertain. And especially for people who have music as their bread and butter, how do they really again balance both the two situations?
I think exactly. As an artist, we feel that addressing the problem of this society is one of our main work. It's not only earning and entertaining people. So Rahul Ram sir was saying that song Gaon Chhod Ab Nahi. We used to perform that song on stage, and people used to dance to that song, but without knowing the meaning. But he just said that go with the flow. We just went with the flow. Then we realized the essence of the song, but they didn't understand the meaning of the song. That's
they
what
just dance to it.
They just dance to it. That's what I want to ask you. How you need to balance this situation so that people can understand what you want to say, what you're trying to say.
May I, Ananda bhai, may I go ahead?
Yes, Dada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, key hoy is that, of course, you have to entertain them. They are paying you for it. Right. But you also talk to the audience before a song. At least I do. I don't know if you guys do it. But the talking part becomes part of the show. Okay? And please don't be preachy. Preachy is the worst. People hate being preached to, especially when they've come to a rock concert. Okay? You have to get them on your side, and you have to be able to put your message across without the preachiness. Right? For example, for Gaon Chhod Ab Nahi, I would go in and say, "Arey yaar, Orissa mein ek aadmi hai yaar. Itna fantastic gana likha hai na ki hamara dil aa gaya." I mean, sorry, I'm speaking in Hindi, but there is a fantastic man in Odisha, Adivasi. He has written this beautiful song about the forest and about how much he loves it. And yet, he's saying that I'm facing this threat and I'm facing that threat. And we really love this song, and we're sure you're going to love it too. Listen to the words and dance to the song. Something like that in the beginning, as opposed to, our country is facing a lot of environmental problems, and some people have written a song about it, and here we are presenting a song about, sounding like a Doordarshan newsreader. So that has to become part of your show. The ability to have the audience on your side. Have you watched Usha? Have you watched her? Man, that lady, she's such an entertainer because she gets the audience on her side right from the beginning, from the word go. And she does not let up throughout the 2 hours of the show. Even though she now can't stand, she has to sit and sing because her knees have given way. She is 44 years into the business, still as enthusiastic, and because she believes that if the audience likes her, they will like her show. Okay? So we have to develop, that is part of our communication. Your communication is not limited to this and to singing. It's an act. The whole thing is an act. It's a presentation. That's why somebody speaking at a conference, dully and dryly with very interesting material, is heard with not very much enthusiasm. Okay? So there are skills which we musicians need, which are not necessarily musical skills. And you will find that is true for most musicians, that they have an ability to connect. See, musicians network, you know this. Musicians get shows by networking. Musicians get audience response by networking. Being a successful musician has a lot more than just the music. We all know people who are technically more skilled than us. Okay? And we all know people who sing better than us. And we all know people who play better than us. That is why music is so beautiful, because there is nobody who's the best. Everybody has something in them. And some people are beautifully there and some people are beautifully there. And these are other skills which you need in addition to just the music part, which is the talking to people part. Which is where, because we are talking about these environmental issues, we need to bring them in with a sense of humor and a sense of you and I are in the same boat. It can begin with Bijli chale gayi mere ghar pe. Power cut happened. Hey. It can begin like that, because everybody will identify with power cut happened. They'll say, yeah, man.
Very, very
and you know how they don't have power cut here? Because they have generators. Okay? So now let me tell you about, whatever, So you take it like that, and you use the same song to make a link with different audiences at different points, taking different stories and linking them to the idea of the song. Sorry, I mean, I can go on, but I will stop.
Yes, we are actually shooting a little beyond time, but we would like to finish our webinar by 7 o'clock, which means we still have 10 minutes time. And I think we'll take one more question that has been...
Tell me one thing. Why do you finish by 7 o'clock? Ke bola che 7 o'clock?
No, Sukrit, I'm
yes.
going to interrupt you to say that we can go on. We have this thing for 2 hours. So if the musicians, if the artists are free for some more time, and I think there's a small group here that wants to hear you, and there are some very deep questions that have been asked in the chat box. I know some of the people personally, and I would really like us to address those questions.
As Indian Ocean has a song which says, Nadiya hai hum behne do.
Behne do.
Seminar ko behne do.
Bilkul. So please continue. I mean, whoever wants to leave can leave. But we will continue for some time.
Well, if we have the permission, I am loving this. Yeah. Well,
the conversation is flowing, Sukrit. So,
yes, absolutely. It's very difficult to put a
flow. It's like drops of water, whatever, you know. So
yeah. But I'd like to highlight another question here that has been put out by Jaya Padma, who works in a school. Is she there?
Jaya,
right?
Are you online? Jaya is my student.
Okay.
But she was online.
Nonetheless, I think there has.
So can I, Sukrit, can you ask the question? But
yes, I will do that.
The, Krishna Murthy School in Banaras, in Varanasi.
Okay.
And she's asking about what we can do with the role of arts and music, and how can we bring it into schools to talk more about climate change and water and these sets of issues.
Right. And I think I'm going to merge another question that has been asked by another participant of the Paani Ki Kahaani, Dr. Shoham Kaur. And the basic question is that what are the kind of discussions on climate change, and how can we weave it in a classroom format through art, music, and use these as tools to communicate the learning process? How can we inspire youngsters to make a transformation through music, and how can we keep this interest in them for a longer run? Ananda Jadi, if you can talk a little bit about this.
We nowadays everywhere in the school we have some kind of class like art and crafts, or drama classes, or like music classes, or so many things. So that's, and in the same way, then I told you a little ago that music has its own language. Even the art has its own language. So I have seen some artworks in so many school children actually developing those kind of beautiful, like I have seen one artwork a couple of days ago. A little boy, he is just 8.5 years old, and he has drawn a beautiful picture, like everybody is drowning in water, and the bachao bachao kind of sign and everything is everywhere. And the thing is, a couple of months ago, we suffered by flood, a huge flood. So he has seen some of the flooded people, flooded village image on television or in newspaper, and actually that kind of thing actually hits the youngsters' imaginary world, and he painted that, like the people are drowning in the water, and like bachao bachao kind of thing. So this is easy to do for us to make that youngsters or the kids how to take care about himself and how to take care about the mother nature, how to take care about the trees, birds, and how to make the future beautiful for himself and
right.
For the rest of the world. So and we should do it. We should address it from like when we are for me, when I'm a little child, my Thakurma or my teachers always tell me that don't waste the food or don't waste the water or other thing, because there is some people in this world who are hungry, who are thirsty at the same moment. So you should take care about that food. So still now I recall those things, and still now when I eat something, I always try to not to spill out something or not to throw something away. So yeah, we should do more thing through the art or through music.
And I think
from the school level, yeah.
Right, and I think the major issue that students particularly feel is that once they move out of that bubble of school and that huge pressure of the rat race comes into them, that they have to become an engineer or a doctor or something like that, and somehow this entire idea of how arts can actually affect or be a part of their entire professional life probably.
One thing I want to add with you.
Yes,
this is not their desire. This is not their dream to be a doctor or to be an engineer or to be a chemist. Actually, this is the dream of the parents. Okay, so we need to address this thing as well, because what I will do in future, actually, it depends on how I conceive the whole world. What I get, what kind of essence or what kind of lesson actually I got from this, from my surrounding. It depends on that. It's not depends on what I want or what my parents want actually.
Absolutely, and I think it's people like you know, like Rahul Da and Ananda Da, who along with the scientific knowledge that you already possess, are really inspiring thousands and thousands of musicians and artists every day and every hour. And I don't know, like even at this point, I feel nostalgic because I have, grown listening to you both, and today having this conversation with the both of you is just a phenomenal experience for me as well. There is another question coming in by Rahul, you have something to say, please. Absolutely.
I'm just carrying on with what Ananda said about our grandparents and teachers telling us not to waste. That is something that has gone away because it's now become a consumption world. Now, khale beta, it's chips khale, coke khale, that kind of thing is something that has to come from all of us, not just children. Children, we are putting a lot of burden on them as it is. By what we have done to the global climate, already their burden is huge. We as adults need to spread the thing of less is good, not more is good. I'm luckily I was born as a non-consuming type person. So I don't like watches and I don't like, what latest cell phone and this system and that system. No. But I think that message is not in society's message now is buy. It's everywhere. So as Snigdha Kundu said, I think actually she's my niece. I recognize her. Babli, she's called otherwise. So she said some schools are teaching their children to be environmental conscious. Yes, I think so. In Delhi, especially, a lot of schools have been telling kids to not burst crackers on Diwali, for example.
Right.
What effect it has had, I don't know. But I have a lot of kids who, for example, definitely they give them a non-smoking message. Smoking is bad for you. And I think that's something that's been happening for the last 30 years. And now it seems to have. I think the younger people tend to not smoke as much. So there is a way to give these messages to children in school. But I think it needs to be that kind of message. Consume less and, then also that is for the environment, and why is it good for the environment?
Right. So I think we'll end with one question that is again a question raised in the comments box. That is, how do we reach?
Sukrit, I want to add one more thing.
Nishchay,
Rahul
absolutely.
Rahul, I love to love to tell you that not only you, to everybody. My Thakurma, I'm sure everybody knows that Thakurma, grandmom. She always told me in my childhood, less is more. So the less is more. It's another kind of, I call like sutra, kind of sutra, or what I always follow. Even in my music, I follow these rules, like less is more, less effect is more, less articulation is more, less. So about the food, and she actually told me about the food and clothes, but still I'm from a middle class family, so always I obey that kind of that rules. Actually, less is more in everywhere in my life. So actually what we actually learned, we started it from our family. So parivarik shikha, what can I say in English? I don't know.
Education at home.
Education at home, it is very much important. About less is more, or take care about the nature, or take care about the climate or environment, or take care about other people, respect other people, respect other culture, respect other the whole universe. So
absolutely
the family education, what you told, I don't know. Parivarik shikha, this is very much important and vital role can play about that kind of thing. So we can talk a lot. We can write down reams and reams of papers. We can talk on stage. In between two songs, we can talk a lot. But if our grandma or grandfather told us something, tell us something about this kind of thing, so we should do it from school. Everybody is talking about school, but the schooling should be start from the home,
the family. Absolutely, charity begins at home, and I think that is the crux of you becoming a good human being, and no school and college can ever teach you that. I think one last very important question that was raised during your speech, that somehow maybe the message that musicians are trying to send out, it might not be reaching to the right people, or maybe there is a mistake in us in choosing the language that we choose, to maybe thinking that it might reach the necessary audience. So I would again open this question to both of you, that when we are singing a song, we also have an additional responsibility of sending out that message that song portrays, as Rahul also mentioned, that talk about that song and mention what the story behind that song is. But what, according to you, should be a way, because there are many upcoming musicians in this panel today, is a way to reach out, to actually reach out to those people, both in different stratas of the society?
Okay, sorry. I'm going to jump in here and say, one, there is no right people. Everybody has to be involved. Okay, there is no right people. Every person is the right person, because everybody can go to everyone, right?
Right.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So And now that you've identified your target audience as everybody,
True. Yes.
you need probably break it up into different segments that have different messaging for different people. Like you said, in schools, part of the curriculum, and encouraging the parents who are also, their kids are, they're listening to your concert and their kids are in school. So, that message, it should become axiomatic actually. This less is more is a axiomatic thing that should enter our life. Like when I was a kid, we had a concept called one-sided paper. Okay, it's a stupid concept, but basically it meant that if one side is printed, you write on the other side, right?
Right.
You use the other side. You don't throw it away. Everything was recycled. Everything was reused. Now, unfortunately, it is throwaway culture. Yeah, my cell phone doesn't have enough memory. I'm going to ditch it and buy a new one. They've set it up. My computer has run out of RAM. My hard drive is not big enough. I need to buy this. We are all part of the same. We have also been enmeshed into this culture system, okay, of consumption, of more, and it's never-ending technological increase. And linked with that is the myth that there will be a tech fix for everything. So that all these things is something that we have to, mentally, even us, you have to say, bah,
there are no easy out.
Not an easy question to answer. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anandada, if you would have some last points to say.
Dada told a lot already, so no need to put anything. But if it is in Bangla, I can tell a lot. My English is not that good. The command of English is very poor, so I can say one last, I can say one last thing about this thing. So we are talking about the issue and other thing, and as I always follow the rules of nature in any way. I try to learn things from nature, from people, from anything actually. Whatever I get, I try to learn all the time. Even when I'm here, I'm trying to learn something from Rahul Dada, or some question arising here. So all the time. The thing is, why the bird sings? We need, if we are hearing, if we are noticing, we will sing. If we are not noticing or nobody care about that, he will sing. Okay, so that kind of approach we should take that kind of thing as well. We should sing. We should sing. We should buzz the alarm all the time. I'm sure not all of the people will hear it, but some people will hear it, and some people will take care about it. Maybe we will talk, or we will sing a single line, maybe for to 1,000 people. Maybe 10 people will catch the real thing from that. That 10 will become, someday it will become 100 or more and more. And what I told before, the same thing. Mother is the first teacher. So we should start from home, not from like this kind of seminar, webinar, or some kind of alochona discussion sessions, or that kind of thing. We should start from our home. At least we should start like here. We have some people with us. Maybe we will start from our home. Then it will spread towards the world or everywhere. So like bird, why bird are singing? if we are going through the scientific explanation, there is other thing will arise. So apart from that, when the bird sings, we feel good, we feel calm, we feel beautiful. Whenever we want to rupak means metaphor, whenever we want to make any metaphor in our poetry or in our lyric, we are talking about pakhir dak or a singing bird or some kind of thing.
Yeah.
When we are talking about nature, we use this pakhir dak. Another time, we are not bothering about the scientific reason or other things. So the musician, we will take care about our music. We will talk to the people through our music. Through our music, first we will make people comfortable with us, communicate with them, and then we can sing a line or a whole song, or maybe we can talk a little bit in between two songs. So we should do our duty. Then we can ask other people to do their duty. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ananda. I think that was a very, very important point you made, that the responsibility is first on us. And as long as we do our jobs correctly, the other items will fall into place automatically. I think it was a very enriching discussion, and this discussion definitely does not have an end, and it is definitely not possible to like put it in a compartment in just like 1.5 hours with such an interesting topic. Definitely. I think Prarthi has raised a hand. Do we have some time to take a question, or?
Sukrit, we do have time. There's a request for some of you to sing as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That সবাই বলছে গান গাও। So Ananda, আপনি আগে গাইবেন না আমি গাইবো না সুকৃত গাইবে বলুন, আপনি ডিসাইড করুন।
আমি কখনো বড়দের সামনে বেয়াদবি করি না। এখানে আপনি যেখানে উপস্থিত আছেন, আমি অবশ্যই আপনাকে পরে গাইতে বলবো। এখানে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি দেবাশিস আছে এখনো আমাদের সঙ্গে। আমি বরং দেবাশিসকে বলতে চাই, ও যদি কোনো একটা গান গায় আমাদের সবার জন্য, খুব খুশি হব। তারপর যদি সুযোগ পাই আমিও একটু গাইবো, এবং সবার শেষে দাদা গাইবেন, রাহুল দা গাইবেন। এইটাই সবচেয়ে সুন্দর হবে বলে মনে হয়। আর আমি বাংলা, সরি ফর মাই মিস্টেক, আই টকড ইন বাংলা। I love to give the space for Debashish first to sing a little for us. And one thing, Rahulda, in our subcontinent, every kind of gathering starts with song. Every kind of gathering finishes with song. If it is a political event or a political event or a theatrical event, or kind of some activism kind of thing, or anything where there is 10 people together, we sing something. So we are here maybe more than 10, so we should sing some song.
Sure. But
yeah, Ashur. We are not we are not.
Joy Guru. I should say my humble obeisance to all of you, and I'm very much grateful, very much thankful to Rahul Ananda Dada. He's just I should say just like an institution to ourselves, our youngsters, kids in Bangladesh, struggling, doing some songs with acoustic setup, with that kind of sound. So I'm very much fortunate to speak something in front of these big names, including Rahul Ram ji, which I have seen him in a concert in 2016, maybe in a folk fest. Before that, I have heard some songs of Indian Ocean like Bondhu, Bande, and all this. So I'm not taking so much time. And since this is a request from Rahul Ananda, he is like my mentor, like my, I should say, Moner Manush or Praner Manush. I can just
person of the heart.
Translate, yeah, man of the heart. So
Absolutely.
he's like Rahul Ananda Dada is like an umbrella, just like an guardian, and I'm very much thankful to him. I don't know my guitar is properly tuned or not. I can't play guitar. I can't play guitar. Yeah.
Zoom e guitar সাথে না গাওয়া ভালো, because Zoom only picks up
one
vocals. So your guitar will not. Just sing. Take a song and sing.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So I'm singing few lines. This is a song of harmony, a song of communal harmony that speaks about the unification of human beings, irrespective of caste, creed, race, religion, and other things that divides people. So it's about. It's basically from the story has been taken from maybe from Upanishad, example of cows. So the lyric goes like that the color of the cows are different, like white, red, or black, but the essence, that is the milk, is the same. So we are here for unity, and the lyric goes like that. My obeisance to Rahul Ananda Dada.
Sing.
Are nanan ronger gavin re bai ekoi ronger dud বাইরে bai nanan ronger gavin re bai ekoi ronger dud Hindu Muslim achen jadore barbai ekoi mayer put মন একই মায়ের পুত মন চিনে না হুরে ওরে মন যায় না হুরে আমার আল্লাহ কেমন জন আপনা দেহের মাঝে আছেন নিরঞ্জন মন চিনে না Thank you so much. I should cherish these moments. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Devashish.
Thank you, Devashish. Now I will take the floor, and after me, Rahul Dada will sing a little for us. I will sing my which I wrote down a couple of days ago, a new song. I never sing it before anywhere.
Fresh for us.
Let's try
exclusive content.
Yes, and today I love to dedicate my new song towards my
pleasure is entirely yours,
to my Rahul Dada.
Thank you.
Dekho akashe akash batasher pare batash দেখো আকাশে আকাশ বাতাসের পাশে বাতাস আয়নার মুখোমুখি আমার আমি মেঘে মেঘে এলাম কোথায় এসো আমার উঠানে নাও শীতল পাটির দীর্ঘশ্বাস এসো আমার উঠানে নাও শীতল পাটির দীর্ঘশ্বাস আমি ফুল আমি পাখি সকাল সন্ধ্যা ডাকা ডাকি আমি ফুল আমি পাখি সকাল সন্ধ্যা ডাকা ডাকি আমার ভেতর আরেক আমি প্রকাণ্ড এক বৃক্ষ আমার ভেতর আরেক আমি প্রকাণ্ড এক বৃক্ষ লতায় পাতায় বুনি নকশি কাঁথার সখ্য এসো আমার উঠানে নাও শীতল পাটির দীর্ঘশ্বাস দেখো Akashe akash, batasher pare batash. আয়নার মুখোমুখি আমার আমি মেঘে মেঘে এলাম কোথায় এসো আমার উঠানে নাও শীতল পাটির দীর্ঘশ্বাস থ্যাংক ইউ
Thank you so much. This was so nice, so nice.
So it is now the floor is Rahul Dada's.
Okay. Quick one.
As it is our maybe you are, this is the last thing in our program tonight. So I love to thank all of you, the people who are behind actually working to make it successful. So Living Water Museum and other people, Sarah, Sukrit, everybody, you, thank you very much to get me here or give me the privilege actually to talk in front of Rahul like people, Rahul Ji, Rahul Sir, the man. He is like ocean to us. He's not a member or not a founder member of Indian Ocean. To us, he is an ocean because he's inspiring us from the root level. He doesn't know that, but we felt the connection all the time. Thank you, Dada. Please be with us all the time.
Thank you, Anando.
Thank you.
আমি জিজ্ঞেস করি সুকৃত দুটো লাইন কুইকলি তুই গা
আমি গাইবো
দুটো লাইন গাইবি তারপর আমি গাইবো চলো
আমি যখন আমার অ্যাকচুয়ালি মাথায় আসছিল যখন ওই র‍্যাপ কথাটা তুমি বলছিলে না যে কিভাবে সংস্কৃততেও র‍্যাপ হয় এবং সেটা এখন নতুন প্রজন্ম মনে করছে ইটস সামথিং দ্যাট দ্য ওয়েস্ট ডিসকভার্ড তো আমরাও যখন ছোটবেলা তবলা শিখতাম আমাদেরকেও আমাদের গুরুজি এরকম ভাবেই তবলা শিখিয়েছে যে এরকম মানে বিকজ দ্যাট ইজ হাউ রিদম কেম ইনটু এক্সিস্টেন্স তো আমি ওই গান আজকে করছি না এত বড় শিল্পীদের সামনে গান করার আমার কোনো সামর্থ্য নেই কিন্তু একটা ছোট আমি ওই যে গণেশ বন্দনা যেটা বলে সেটাকেই আমি একটু ছোট করে শোনাচ্ছি তিন তালে তো দিন দা দিন দিন দা না দিন দা গণানাম গণপতি গণেশ লম্বোদর সোহে ভূজাचारी एक दंत सुगल लाट लागे विचित्र गणपति मृदंग बजावे ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वर ताल दावे अच ध्रुपद गावे धिटधरांग धिटधिरांग धिधा धिटे गिटा गिटे धिगधा था धिगदिंदा धिगदिंदा था অনেক ধন্যবাদ
চলো তো last okay and I want to thank everybody and Anando it's been a pleasure and I have to frankly now go back and listen to all your music and we will be in touch all right okay so Sukrit and Dr. Sarah thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here and I'm going to cut this short and I'm just going to sing okay पानी निर्मल खल खल बहतो जायो रे अरे अमरकंठ से निकली हो रे बा जन जन करी रहे हो थारी सेवा
क्या बात thank you so much and I think we've really put like taken up some really important points of what the role of music and musicians can be in the discourses in future and I will not talk anymore and just leave the stage to Sarah to give the vote of thanks.
Yeah, hi Sukrit and Anando and Rahul. I don't know, I mean, you know, we've all been watching many webinars over the last 7-8 months now in this strange lockdown mode, but this is the first one that I think for me has come from the heart. And I want to thank you for the passion and the pathos which you have both brought to us this evening, and the way in which you have generously shared your wisdom, your learnings, your music, your songs. It's really, I mean, that's why I said, let's extend this, because I didn't want to stop the flow of the conversation. So many years ago in the late 80s, I had the opportunity to visit the campaign called the Clearwater Campaign on the Hudson River in New York, in the Catskills, which was started by Pete Seeger, one of the most famous American folk musicians. And I was doing my PhD research in Benares, where Seeger had come many years ago and worked a bit with the NGO that I was working with on the Clean Ganga campaign, the very, very first one. And I was way back then really motivated by the role that music and the arts can play in talking about water and environmental challenges. And I think the message that we've had this evening about change coming from home, from our homes, from our mothers, from our grandmothers, for me coming from a Jewish family, which in many ways has also been affected by the concentration camps, but also grew up during the between World War I and World War II. I've heard those stories where there was no food from my grandmother. And of course, the horrors of the camps and how people still kept their spirits alive in many of those things. So Living Waters Museum, I mean, Rahul, you brought up a very important point that we need to scale up. We're a small, very small endeavor right now, but we have a lot of followers on Instagram. I don't know where they are this evening, but that's fine. We are here because we're drawn by the passion of your music. And we, a few weeks ago on International Rivers Day, we had a global event with the Global Network of Water Museums, and an artist that works with indigenous communities in America. She said Shania Matheson, and Shania just said that water is our relative, and we need to treat it that way. One more woman artist from England, Tanya, she described how a river flows through each of us. And I think these words that we're hearing from art continuously and from artists, as creative artists, this needs to have a larger platform, which unfortunately in India, when and I've for the last 25 years been attending meetings around water and policy and equity and governance and all those nice discourses, but we don't respect art and artists. I've been to places where it is there, it is part of the mainstream. Indigenous art in Australia, talking about water, talking about dreaming, at mainstream events. Mainstream events here, as one of you said, it'll be an entertainment factor in the evening, but it won't be on the main stage when we're talking about these things. So thank you so much on behalf of my team, Sukrit, moderating, and wonderful, passionate evening. So thank you both so much, and I really hope we can continue this conversation beyond this evening as well.
Thank you so much, and we hope we meet physically soon. I think that was really, really missing. I wish we could just have a cup of tea along with the music that was there and the guitar. But thank you so much. I think it's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Stay well, stay safe.
Yeah. Bye-bye.